1, 2, testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, here we go. You probably heard the phrase, seeing is believing. But for me, hearing is believing. You know, genius isn't always recognized right from the start, and not always in the usual places known for their industry and state-of-the-art technology. A quiet revolution is beginning to spread among musicians and sound engineers in the beautiful deep forest of Sweden. Right in the heart of Sweden, in a little town called Siljansnäs. Something incredible is happening with microphone technology and changing the shape of the industry. Sound engineer Ehrlund has discovered that a triangular membrane produces a cleaner and more transparent sound. Sven-Åke Eriksson, an engineer in technical physics, electronics, mathematics, and a lot more, developed a new technique that drives the amplifier. The result? Ehrlund Microphones are causing a revolution in the music industry, the likes that have never been seen or heard before. We all know how a gong seems to reverberate forever. Well, that's because the round shape of the gong allows it to produce a prolonged sustain. However, if you were going to make that gong into a square, the sustain would be cut in half. And if you turn it into a triangle, you'll reduce that sustain by another 50%. So, what has that got to do with microphone technology? Actually, everything. To be able to accurately capture high transients and slow-moving low frequencies, you need a membrane that doesn't muddy the sound by allowing waves to keep reverberating from the initial transient pulse. This illustration shows the difference between the vibration decay in a round membrane as compared to a triangular-shaped membrane. To see what this means in sound recording, let's take a round-shaped bottle or jar of water and let some drops fall into it. You see that the waves from each drop hit the wall and go back and forth about 7 times. But in a triangular-shaped bottle, the waves die out a lot faster. If we increase the frequency of drops in the round-shaped bottle, we can easily see that the water's surface simply doesn't have a chance to accurately convey each impulse, and there's a lot of disturbance on the surface. But in the triangular-shaped bottle, each drop dies out fast enough so the surface can accurately convey it before the next drop lands, and the next one, and the next one. This helps explain why the triangular-shaped membrane has the best geometric shape for sound reproduction. The result can take your breath away. With the Ehrlund microphone, you capture the extreme lows and full-bodied sounds we hear with our ears with a transparency no previous microphone has ever been able to deliver. With this mic, you get a much more accurate picture of the entire overtone series. Take a good look at the frequency response charts for most microphones. They're really just telling us half the truth. Compare some of your favorite microphones, and you'll find out that although their frequency response charts have very similar curves, they sound totally different from one another. Why? Well, it's because their phase curves are different. Even if you buy the same brand and model, you'll still need to get a stereo-matched pair to get the same phase curve. Sven-Åke Eriksson immersed himself down in endless math equations that probably only a handful of people in the world understand. He came up with a preamp that, together with the triangular microphone, creates a consistent linear phase curve. This makes the need for stereo-matched pairs history. They all come out flat and straight, ready to capture complex sound structures. When the Swedish Radio Audio Lab tested the Ehrlund mics, they discovered that the microphones captured frequencies from 7 Hertz all the way up to 87,000 Hertz. The air and ambience is simply incredible to listen to. This is the new band of studio monsters called Dirty Loops, one of the superstars of YouTube. Listen to the drums, first with all the mics you could ever want. Now, with just 2 Ehrlund EHRMs over the top of Aaron's head. How's that for bottom and brilliance? Daniel Bergström, world-famous producer of bands like In Flames, Meshuggah, Dimmu Borgir, and many others, recently discovered Ehrlund mics. Here's what happened when master drum tuner Urban Nesval and Daniel used the Ehrlund EHRM for an overhead and the EHRD for the new Toontrack drum kit from Hell sample sound library.
I just got back from that session in Norway. We did like a drum sample session, and we tried out that new microphone, the EHRD, and oh man, it sounded so good. We compared it to many other microphones, and they didn't stand a chance compared to that microphone. So I'm hooked for life. There's no other need to use other microphones than this one, and that's from my heart. I love it.
I said this mic was causing a quiet revolution. Well, it's getting louder all the time. But don't take my word for it. Listen for yourself at your nearest music store or studio. If they don't have it, ask them to get you a pair to try out. Hey, stay classy. I'm Monty Reed, and I just fell in love with a microphone.